Where the hell was that the entirety of the year? The Jets actually look like they're playing some decent football tonight. 8 sacks of C.J. Stroud. Rodgers looks pretty decent. Garrett Wilson is a stud, an absolute man among children. The grab, like, unreal. Unreal in the back of the end zone. Jets win 21-13. This postgame brought to you by, this side, powered by BetUS. I'll get into some of their stuff in just a little bit here, but I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear your thoughts on the game right as the Jets' season is crumbling and falling apart on a massive losing streak. Does this game mean anything right now? Do we have some hope? Is it the little bit of a strand that's going to pull us back into this team? I will have the post-game presser for both 𝐅𝐑𝐄𝐄 and Rodgers coming up shortly. So once that goes over to there, give you guys some of my thoughts. We'll go over some of the stats while we are waiting for the presser to start. Boys and girls, I am clearly not in the cockpit. I am down here in Florida tonight, so that's why we got no game stream. But tonight, Jets win 21-13. Aaron Rodgers finishes the day 22 of 32, 211, and 3 touchdowns. Breece Hall leads the way, 15 carries, 74 yards. That's just under 5 yards a carry. Malachi Corley, big old dummy, had a nice run and did the one thing you can't do as a receiver or any running back or any player. Cross the goal line before you score a touchdown. They actually put a big fat white line there so you know when you cross. And for some reason, players continually decide to flip the ball backwards. Drives me bonkers. That is a low IQ move from a high IQ individual, and it bugs me. So Corley fixed that. That is a very embarrassing way to start your NFL career. Davante Adams, 7 receptions, 91 yards and a touchdown. Garrett Wilson, 9 receptions, 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those guys absolutely studs. I wish they would get more downfield passing to Garrett. Feels like every pass to him is like right at the line of scrimmage, and he's just got to shake and bake someone to get a few extra yards. But the few opportunities we've got to see him go beyond that crazy one-handed grab on his first touchdown, and then the second touchdown just, Garrett Wilson. There's a poll question in the chat. Garrett Wilson is him or still him? It's one or the other. Garrett Wilson, you're a freak, an absolute freak. As far as everyone else goes, next best receiver, Yeboah, 1 reception, 12 yards. Breece Hall, 2 receptions, 11 yards. 8 sacks tonight. Jamien Sherwood had 2. DJ Reed had 1. Quinnen Williams, 1.5. Michael Clemons, 2. Solomon Thomas, 1. Hassan Reddick, we get a half a sack from him there at the end. Nice to see the defense kind of come out and do what they should. There were still head-scratching penalties. We had obviously an extra point that hit off the upright with our new kicker. Still driving me bananas on this damn stuff. But it was a nice game. Frustrating first half. I would say better second half. Maybe frustrating like first quarter and a half or so. Whatever it was. But happy the Jets get the win. Jets move it to 3-6. Does this mean they're making the playoffs? No, this is one game. You gotta. What I want to see, do it again next week. Do it again next week. And if you do it again next week, do it the week after that. I don't care about, the Jets need to win 8 of the next 9. I don't care. Win 1 of 1. Tonight was 1 of 1. Next week's going to be 1 of 1. And we're going to continue in that fashion until it doesn't work anymore. We'll get it figured out. And hopefully that's where we're kind of headed. Just if we could get an offensive explosion kind of like that. Like, you think Corley winds up scoring this touchdown, it's a 28-13 game, and this is not even, remotely close. Now, they are without their 2 best wide receivers, and Nico Collins and Stefon Diggs. So, again, the Jets play the Texans 2 consecutive games, or 2 consecutive years, where they just did not have a whole lot of weapons. It keeps us alive, right? Keeps us alive. Boys and girls, make sure you hit that like button if you are just joining us. I'll have I'll have Aaron Rodgers and Jeff Ulbricht's press conferences here shortly that we can go over. But I do want to go over some of your questions. So as you guys have stuff in the chat, just throw it in there, and I will try to get this Ryan, are we watching? Oh, hold on. Where's my? There we go. DJ. Ryan, are we watching the post-game interviews? Yes, we will watch the post-games. I'll have those pulled up shortly. I didn't go into all the graphics and everything crazy, but I will have it pulled up for that particular, those two particular interviews because I do want to get our thoughts on it. T Money says, I think we could definitely go positive this season. Kicker definitely lost most games. We found rhythm. Question is, can we continue with it? Yeah, look, this was a game the Jets were favored to win. They should have won given the injuries sustained to the Texans. This is an AFC opponent that was at a 6-2 record, now at a 6-3 record. It's something that is going to help us as we start to get a little further. Obviously, we lost to the Steelers, we lost to the Broncos, we lost to the Bills. Those are all major losses in the AFC. But you're saying there's a chance. You're saying there's a chance. Oreo saying, "Where are all you idiots? Where are all the idiots who wanted to trade Wilson? I've been about Wilson since he came in. You don't trade Wilson for nothing." Yeah, no, don't trade Wilson. Don't trade Wilson. Jonathan, best 3-6 team in the league. Yep. Orlando C, too little, too late. That's kind of how I'm feeling. But like, I don't want to root for draft picks. I'd rather like, oh no, we could have had whatever draft pick. I don't care. I want to see as many wins as possible because I want us to see like this team gel together and then at least look attractive for next year, regardless of who winds up coaching us. I want us to be seen as a positive team here, and I think this was at least a step in the right direction. Adam, what is the feeling? Why is it 4 weeks too late? What is this feeling? Why is it 4 weeks too late? Yeah, look, I don't know. It took so long for them to click, and it's super annoying. Really stupid. Really, really dumb that this is always happening to us. NYC Superfan, need Ulbrich to make better adjustments against the run. Yeah, I don't know. What were Mixon's stats? Mixon's stats were, I think he was over 100. 106, so 24 carries, 106 yards, and a touchdown. That's 4.4 yards per carry. Did he have any receiving? He did not have any receiving yards. Yeah, Mixon's a beast. He's a stud. I got him on a few different leagues. Justin, undefeated without Greg the Leg. Corley, lucky AF. Yeah, that was really dumb. As soon as he did, I was like, that's not a touchdown. This is bad. This is bad. The whole, like, they were jumping up and down. I was like, how did someone not see this and, like, tell them right away? It's like, dude. Just glad we won. Aaron kept throwing the go route because he knew it was catchable. Clemons surprised me today. He did. Fans were chanting Garrett's name right now, or fans are chanting Garrett's name right now. Good. They should. I like hearing "sell the team." That was a nice chant that they had going for a little bit. Let Woody know that you're pissed off. If the defense gets an interception in that last drive, it changed the momentum of the entire season. If the defense gets an interception, I don't know. I mean, they won, right? Reddick had a sack. Like, wow. Tyson says, I'm Michael Clemons burner. Just when Jets should have been 28-13. Yep. Yeah, Corley's touchdown should have been a touchdown. Idiot. Mike says Joe Douglas will be back next season, and they're trading nobody. I mean, I definitely don't think they're trading anyone until after the season. You might see them move, like... Actually, after winning this game, you're probably not even going to see a DJ Reed trade. And even with Alan Lazard goes to IR, so Mike Williams is probably off the table too. So I would say, yeah, no one's getting moved, and they're just going to, hope they can go on the run that we all want. Kevin, Sauce holds way too much. Stingley is better. Stingley has looked really good. But the biggest issue with Stingley was awesome in college. The only issues with Stingley were the injuries. Without Sauce fucking up all game and Corley, we'd probably have shut them out. Yeah, Sauce is still having a rough season. Rough year for Sauce. Malachi Sorley, what the fuck? The non-holding call versus our pass rush. Oh my god, dude! I was screaming at the TV. I was like, I think it was Will McDonald. I'd have to go back and look at it, but I'm like, dude was like bent backwards with like the blocker behind him. Mike D, hopefully we win the next two. Yeah, look, you win the next two, all of a sudden you're sitting at 5-6 going into the bye, and you're at least feeling a little more confident. Still a long shot, but more confident. Ooh, God bless me. Brian makes a good point. Okay, but Mixon had like 90 yards in the first half. So yeah, 90 yards in the first half, but then 16 the rest of the game. So solid. Nice turnaround. Oreo, I feel like Sauce has peaked. He is a pass interference merchant, and teams have him 100% figured out. He still does not turn his head around. I think we trade Sauce in the offseason. Reminds me of Nnamdi Asomugha. I don't think so. I think Nnamdi Asomugha like purely played in that one side of the field defense. Sauce, I think, can play multiple sides and can travel. Justin, Lazard going to IR won't be the first and won't be the last time we see Malachi. Yeah, no, we'll see Malachi more. I want to see him, like, on the field. I just don't want to see him do stupid shit. Ricky, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for the super chat. Mike, where are all the idiots who didn't want Reddick? He completely changed the whole pass rush. Yeah, maybe. That might be what we saw tonight. I want to see it happen consistently.
All right, from an injury standpoint, guys, Hansen had the hammy, didn't return. Simpson groin, and Michael Carter had the back. Really cool game for this team, man. After 3 weeks of a lot of adversity, a lot of setbacks, some self-imposed, for them to have the resiliency to come back and play the way they did against a really good opponent. I was proud of them.
Congrats on your first win, first and foremost. Talk about the offensive explosion in the second half. I mean, three drives, 3 touchdowns. Talk about your quarterback.
Yeah, it's just, came in at halftime, and the run game was rolling in the first half, and we knew we had to continue to establish that. And once we did, it just opened up the passing, lightened up the box a little bit, gave Aaron a chance to operate, and he did what Aaron does.
Say anything? I don't know if you guys step up, coach you, or anything. It's completely different team.
Yeah, it was a collective deal. It was players and coaches all that spoke, all acknowledging the fact that there was more for us, and we weren't playing to our ability, and came out and played Jets football in that second half.
Let's talk about the resilience.
Garrett's catch.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I was talking to the ref when they were reviewing it. I'm like, just for the sake of posterity, you have to say that's in, just so it goes down in history. It would rival the Odell catch. It was amazing.
Were you certain it was in, or were you just kind of?
Well, I thought with the shin, I thought it was close enough to challenge. So it was. Thankfully, they got it right.
Talk about the defensive line and just what they brought to the table tonight.
Man, that's a good offensive line, and that's a really good quarterback. A quarterback that not only can navigate the pocket, but he can extend plays, and he can beat you with his arms and his legs. So, the way they hunted him all night long, it was exhausting. It was hard, but they came through in the end, and it was really cool to see. And whenever you get that sort of sack production and get them off the spot that often, they're doing their thing.
When that Malachi play happens, I mean, you've had a lot of bad stuff happen to you guys in the last few weeks. What is going through your mind there, and how do you overcome that?
Definitely frustrated, to be honest, and angry at the same time. But what an amazing opportunity for this kid to grow and learn from. I promise you, 10 years from now, when he's still playing in this league, that will never happen again.
What did you say to him after that?
What's that?
What did you say to him after that?
First of all, you can't do that. And second of all, you owe us one.
With Garrett, one thing, you guys really haven't thrown to him deep down the field too much this year. Not many 50-50 opportunities. After seeing that, is that going to change a little bit moving forward?
Yeah, we'll look at everything. But, there's always opportunities for him to get down the field. It was just, sometimes it's coverage, sometimes it's the matchup, multiple things. But Aaron was able to take advantage of it today.
Jeff, you're obviously a guy that deflects a lot of stuff. But what does winning your first game as head coach mean to you?
It's special from the standpoint of this team, man. I feel like one of my strengths is to block out the outside noise, but it gets loud, and this team took a lot of shots externally, and the way they just stayed together and worked and kept a positive attitude and just galvanized as a unit, really proud of them.
What do you say about how your offensive line played with all the injuries and everything like that, overplaying position you've never played before?
Right. That's it's a testament to Keith, and it's a testament to that entire offensive line, the depth that we have, and the fact that guys stepped in and played as well as they did. It's really cool. Really cool.
Will Lou practice to guard at all?
Not very much. Very, very little. So for him to step in, especially a rookie to step in and play a position he's not really familiar with, was exceptional. Even the holding call, I'd like to take a second look at that one.
How did you feel about Patterson?
For a guy that just came off the street to come in and do what he did, I was really proud of him. He came out on, was it Wednesday, and we did a little kicking competition, and he won it, and the team had some confidence in him, and we knew in a critical moment he was going to have to make a kick, and he came through for us today.
Devontae Adams and Hassan Reddick both made plays late. Just what did you see from both of them tonight?
Yeah, that's why you acquire guys like that. They're closers. They're guys in critical moments. We talk about being at your best when your best is required, and those two guys embody that. So they'll just continue as they get more and more familiar with what we do and get in a groove with us to make more of those plays.
Did your stomach drop a little bit when that first PAT hit the upright and doinked in?
A little bit.
Second consecutive year that C.J. Stroud's had a really tough game here. What does that say, especially given that your team had given up a lot of yards to Mixon, but were able to contain C.J. Stroud again?
Yeah, they did a good job today. Mixed up the coverages, I think, well, and the guys executed. So a testament to all the guys on our back end, a testament to our D-line really affected them.
Fourth down to Devontae and then the touchdown to Devontae. Is that those two knowing each other? It looked like that's something that they've done a million times.
That's something that takes years. That's a relationship that's way deeper than the 3 or 4 weeks they've been together this particular year.
What do you see in What do you have planned for your souvenir there?
Goes in the office. That's a special one for me. Just because what it represents with this team.
What are you seeing from Quinnen right now? It feels like these last 2 weeks he's sort of just taking over games.
Yeah, he's getting back into a groove, and we're finding better ways to utilize him too. So it's a combination of those two things, and couldn't happen to a better human being, a guy that doesn't. There's not a guy on our team that works as hard as Quinnen. So it makes me feel good when he's dancing.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, so that was the Ulbrich press conference. I'll have the Rodgers press conference as soon as it goes live. I do have it pulled up here, so we'll keep that on in the hopper for right now. Keep going back to your questions and comments. Kev says, one pass to Mike Williams, trade him for a run stuffer or a 2025 pick. I think with Lazard being out, I'd rather not move Mike Williams right now. If we had lost tonight, I'd probably be more inclined to do that. Not that the percentage chance of us, making the playoffs is that much higher, but I think while they're still alive, they're not going to sell off pieces. I think they kind of made that decision. Kashmir, need more likes. Thank you for putting up with this team, Ryan. Through the bad and the good, we deserve better. We got that tonight. Dude, this whole friggin' fan base deserves better. So thank you guys for hanging out. Wouldn't be doing it if you guys didn't pop into here. Justin, is there a certain amount of players that a team can put on IR? Probably not. If everyone got hurt, they'd have to go to IR. So I don't think there's. I know there's a certain amount of players I think you could put on the short-term IR. That I do not know, though. Billy, Jets need to play 2 halves of football. Yes, they do. They definitely do. We've seen one complete game the entire season. It was against one of the worst teams in the league. Aaron Rodgers was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde tonight. 7 for 14 for 32 yards in the first half. 15 for 18 and 170 and 3 touchdowns in the second half. I would also say the first half, it didn't look very clean from Rodgers, but there was definitely a few drops mixed into there. I'd love to see what his drops were. I want to say he had at least 3 in that first quarter. Or first half. So, I don't know. Definitely been all over the map this year. And who knows? Maybe that fountain of youth that Black Jesus is talking about. The cayenne pepper water is working. Ricky, I don't ever want to hear you or T go badmouth G. Whoa, hold on a second. Y'all really called him who called him Juju? You all really called him Juju and wanted him traded. Love y'all, but put some respect on him. Hold on. Whoa, time out. Ryan doesn't want to trade Garrett. I don't know where you're getting that from. I said I think he's probably not going to sign a second contract, but that's 3 years from now. Brees looks slower than he was. I don't know. I thought he looked all right tonight. We need to focus on a quarterback spy. Yeah, we just constantly get chewed up by friggin' long, stupid quarterback runs. Kevin, I'm not overhyped of this win. Keep this winning momentum going. Yeah, I'm not like hyped up on this, but I'm excited. I'm glad we look good. I mean, at the very least, it shows what this team could be if they could finally start clicking. But I'm not going to hold my breath yet. Just one game at a time. We're 1 of 1. Let's make it 2 of 2. Every snap from Wilson. Can't wait. Yeah, I'll get one up this week. I'll do one for that. Tyson cayenne pepper flavored boogers. David says, this was the most expected Jets win ever. Nothing like the Jets to beat a team they're not supposed to just keep our hopes alive for no reason. Yeah, I mean, we were favorites in this game too. They were missing some of their top wide receivers, but it felt very much like a game coming into it. It's like, oh, Jets will win this game. Like, they've crushed our souls the entirety of the season, and we're going to win versus the Texans. Like, you could put money on it. It just feels like that's like going to happen. Jets are just that kind of team. Bonkertons says, lots of downers in here after a W. Just enjoy it, boys. Worry about next week. Yeah, look, hey, I'm happy for the win. Let's do it again. Let's run it back next week. We could talk about the positives we saw from tonight. Olu Fashanu playing right guard. Look, it wasn't perfect, but dude only played left tackle in college. Plays right tackle when he is asked to come in here and do that. He comes in here playing right guard. Can you imagine Mekhi Becton doing that? I don't think so. There's some positives we could take away from this game, aside from just like we had to win and like Garrett Wilson had a crazy catch. Like, no, like this was solid. We had good sacks. The defensive line looked alive. Like it felt good overall. I'm excited. I'll do a Fashanu. I'll probably do an O-line every snap, probably highlighted by Olu, but we'll also kind of focus on some of the other running games or some of the other offensive linemen. Garrett Wilson will get an every snap video this week. If there's any other players you want to see me do, I'll do that. I don't have an Aaron Rodgers every throw coming out right now. I'm down in Florida and just didn't have the ability to record the game tonight. Bill agreed that this night made the decision to hold off on the fire sale. Still highly unlikely that we make the playoffs, but this win shows some positives. Yes, I agree. That's where I'm at. Randilla, great win, but you think after Corley's gaffe, all players would keep the ball tucked when approaching the end zone. Yeah, I mean, this has been on blooper reels and like highlight or lowlights of the NFL for like 2 decades. This is not something that should ever happen in the NFL. Like, we've seen it with NFL players, we've seen it with college players. They just like, oh, I'm almost at the line for the end zone, and I'm just gonna throw the ball. Like, dude, just run out the back of the end zone and then throw the ball. Do whatever you want. What cool thing is possibly happening at the very beginning part of that end zone that you need to flip the ball away? It's stupid football. It's a low IQ move from a high IQ individual. So Malachi Corley, you gotta play better. Gotta play smarter. I know you're better than that. Fans chanting cayenne pepper. KH, he had more overthrows than drops. Yeah, well, he definitely had the overthrow. The first throw was definitely, I think that was the one out of bounds. There was another one, like, I don't know if Devontae was just trying to do a button hook and he threw it out to like wide right. That wasn't very good. I didn't get to watch every throw so closely like I normally do, but definitely a tale of two halves for Rodgers. There we go. Alfonso says Ryan didn't want him traded, but maybe there could be a situation that they trade him. Well, yeah, I think if Rodgers, my whole stance on Garrett is I don't want to trade him. I think there's a situation where if the Jets lose, Rodgers decides to hanging up at the end of the season, and Garrett doesn't want to go through a rebuild, that's where I think they trade him. I don't think they want to trade him because they, want picks or don't want him. Brian, this was a huge game. 2 more under 500 teams, then a bye week. Hey, look, if we can go into this thing friggin' 5-6, at least feeling a little bit better. Julio says, Ryan, what do you think's wrong with Sauce? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I thought part of it could have been the defensive line, but tonight, obviously, the D-line had 8 sacks, so, that's not a thing. Maybe teams have just started to figure him out, or receivers have started to figure him out, or maybe he's got more eyes on him and he's getting more penalties. It feels clunky from Sauce this year, and I don't have a great answer as to what's going on. I'm not giving up faith on him. I think he's still a stud receiver. He's just having a down year. Stud corner, not receiver. Paris, do the Jets keep dressing Riley Patterson over Greg Zuerlein or continue to seek a better kicker? I think they brought in Patterson for this game, so I would imagine they just kind of keep him. You heard Ulbrich say, oh, I didn't love that extra point. It was maybe inhale or whatever. Chris, this Arizona game is going to be tricky because, like the Jets, the Cardinals can put it together any given Sunday. Talent is there, but it doesn't always show on the field. Yeah, the Cardinals are not an easy game. The Rams are not an easy game. The Seahawks are not an easy game. Buffalo is not an easy game. Miami twice are not easy games. This season is way too far from over. But tonight we won. Look, 21-13. I'm feeling pretty good as a Jet fan right now. Guys, I'll have the Aaron Rodgers presser as soon as it goes live. And then we will just kind of keep talking here. Great poll question. Easy, yet thought-provoking. Go Jets. If you guys have not voted, Garrett Wilson is him or Garrett Wilson is still him. You can let me know in the chat. Kev says, you can talk positives, but can you also talk negatives? Why? Because we want to correct errors. Yeah, look, I like the critical analysis. I don't want to just blow smoke up your ass the entire time saying we had a great game or that we're turning things around. There are things to clean up. Sauce has not played well. Rodgers looked a little clunky at times. The penalties are still an issue. Corley brain farting on the goal line. That's a problem. You can't have that. This team still looks undisciplined. There's still timeouts that I don't really love taking. But overall, tonight was a pretty good opponent in a game where the Jets very easily could have just given up and folded, season's done and we're just going to mope around or whatever. But they didn't do that. Jets actually, they kept fighting, and I thought they played well overall. We play Arizona when Black Ops 6 is out, so Kyler is cooked. I just downloaded it on my Xbox, so I got to. I don't know if it's if Warzone's out yet or not, but love me some Call of Duty. David, I'm absolutely happy about the win, but we're 3-6. I'm not getting my hopes up right now. Yeah, no, look, I don't think you should get your hopes up, but I think it's fun to talk about this particular win. Humor me, do all snaps for Reddick. Yeah, I did all snaps last week for Reddick. I'll do the same thing again, just because he's such a prime player that we brought in, and there's been so much polarization on him. I want to try and highlight good and bad from him. Brian, do you think we can actually win out and make the playoffs with this schedule? I mean, based on how we've played all season and even today, I would say it's unlikely, but I think at the very least, you have Aaron Rodgers, you got the players in the building, you have the ability to maybe do it. Maybe it's less of a long shot than other teams with, lesser quarterback play. But look, I'm not thinking that far ahead. We won this week, let's win next week. David says, Sauce playing too many video games in the offseason. He's playing a lot of golf, too. Kevin, if you can get 2 first for Sauce, I'll trade him in a heartbeat. I don't... 2 firsts is a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to think about trading Sauce right now. Soreless. Of course, as soon as I stop caring, they pull me back in. Good team win. Got to keep rolling. Yeah, dude, fingers crossed. Like, we keep seeing some winning here. Terry, do you pay Gruden $20 million? No, I don't. I think Gruden's suing the NFL. I don't think he's allowed to like coach right now. Wilson is talking now. They didn't have it pre-set up, so I didn't queue it up. So I'm just going to go to the Rodgers one after. Wilson and healthy Hall has been our entire offense. Yeah. I wish they clicked a little bit earlier. That was the issue. Brees still putting the ball on the ground. Like, I feel like every game he's got some type of fumble or like, oh no, what just happened? Like the ball squirted out. Like every week with Brees. And that's starting to piss me off. No delay of games. I did not even notice that. What did we finish with as far as penalties go? Penalty-wise, Jets were 9 penalties for 83 yards. So still not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, I guess no delay of games in there, so that's net positive. We were 5 of 12 on third down, 1 of 1 on fourth down. Time of possession, we had 26 minutes. The Texans had almost 34 minutes. Both teams had a turnover. We had a fumble lost, obviously, with the Corley drop at the goal line, and then we got the fumble. Henry, it's wild to think we won pretty comfortably when you consider that we had 2 personal fouls on fourth downs, threw away a touchdown into a touchback. Overall, I'm feeling very positive about this team. Look, we've got a bunch of talent on this team. We've got a lot of talented players on this team. We just need to consistently play like a team, and we've only gotten 1 game out of it. I would say this game was the second game we got a team effort, and it wasn't like a perfect team effort. I feel like this was a team effort versus a good team, whereas the New England game was a team effort versus a bad team, and you saw the difference in how that like played out. Obviously, the first time we played New England, not last week. What's really wrong with AVT? I don't know. I'm not actually sure what's wrong with AVT. I hope he's all right. Hope he comes back. There's going to be a lot of discussion about his contract in the offseason, unfortunately, I think. Lewis, sometimes I think Rodgers overthinks too much, and the receivers can catch up with him. The receivers can catch up, and they can't catch up with him. It's a communication issue. Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like Rodgers is expecting guys to zig, and sometimes they zag. It doesn't always work out the way we want. So it says, speaking of the new Call of Duty, you won't be disappointed. It's amazing. Yeah, I have it. I don't know if it's the beta that you're allowed to play or whatever, but I downloaded it the other day. I'm just not going to be able to play it till like this weekend. Kev says, Connor from Badlands channel spelled out how to fix the Jets. Several good GM options. Yeah, there's a few good ones out there. I heard we were talking about it on the last Talking Jets panel. There's a GM candidate from the Lions, from the Chiefs, and the Texans, I believe. I think those were the 3 teams that we're kind of looking at. I'm pretty sure Connor had Todd Monken as head coach. I really like Todd. If they wanted to go after Monken, I think that's a good move. He's got a little head coaching experience too, collegiately, at Southern Miss. I think it was Southern Miss. Our backup tackles were really good guards. Yeah, look, both having Mitchell and Fashanu in there that are willing to play any position. When you have AVT down and then Newman down and then Simpson down, like this feels like an offensive line. This is why the selection of Olu Fashanu was at least a smart decision from like a depth perspective, given all the issues we've had. And that's not to say Bowers would have been a bad pick at all. Bowers is on pace to break I think it's Larry Fitzgerald's all-time rookie receiving record. He's been a beast too. Aaron using too many zigzags. Jets got 10 penalties. Got under 10 penalties again. Under 100 yards in penalties. Yeah, I wish we didn't have to brag about that. Jalen Mills really beat Chuck Clark out of his starting position. Jalen Mills has easily been our best safety this year. He's done a really, really good job. Lucas, bandwagon fan, you were ready to blow this up, fake fan. Yeah, I still think they're going to blow it up. I'm sorry. That's my honest opinion. I blow it up in the sense that they're getting a new coaching staff. Like, I don't think Ulbricht's going to be the coach next year. I'd be surprised if Douglas is the GM. I don't think we're going to finish with a winning season. That would require us to go 8-2. No, not 8-2. 7-2 the rest of the way out. We'll see. I hope so. Take it one game at a time. This team hasn't given me a whole lot of hope on a consistency basis. Robert, I honestly believe it's mental with Sauce. He's young and in New York media is a monster. Yeah, maybe he's feeling himself a little bit too much from the first 2 years, but he's a good player. He works hard. It's not like his head's like in the wrong spot necessarily. Kev says, Ryan, you seem really laid back tonight. I'm really tired. I'm in Florida. I've had a long last 2 days. So that's why you guys haven't had much content from me the last little bit here. Kashmir says, reason I believe this team we beat the Texans team that beat the Bills. It just needs to all come together and less silly mistakes. I feel like we're almost auditioning for next year. Now, maybe we go on a crazy run and we only lose one game, through the Super Bowl, and that's the whole reason we get into the playoffs and everything. But it's, I want to see as many good games. I don't want to root for losses yet. I really don't particularly want to root for losses at all this year, but I understand the fans that do. I'm still not optimistic about the playoffs, but you're telling me there's a chance. Paris says, Brock Bowers would have helped Aaron Rodgers more this year than getting Olu Fashanu at left tackle this year. Yeah, I completely agree. That's why I thought they were going to do it. If you guys go back to my draft videos, I thought the Jets were going with a weapon. I had heard wide receiver was the pick, and that's where they were going to go, and Malik Neighbors and Odunze were the two guys they were looking at. Giants wouldn't trade out of 6. We couldn't move up, beyond that, and obviously Odunze went one pick in front of us. We traded down, took Olu. Apparently they didn't even consider Bowers, which I think is just completely an error in judgment, unless they're like lying or something like that. But I don't think I would have been fine with Bowers. I thought a player to help us win a Super Bowl while Rodgers is here is better than a player that we hope doesn't see the field. That being said, Olu has seen the field, I think, in every game. We're close to it. Dylan says, get some sleep. Yeah, I will. I'll get some sleep. Get some sleep in a little bit. I don't know. Are they not doing the Rodgers presser? They should be doing the Rodgers presser. I just haven't seen it pop through yet. You know what I'll do while we are sitting here? I'm going to give you guys a little ad read. Let's see. Boys and girls, this stream brought to you by Gooder. Lightweight and comfortable glasses, 100% polarized, no slip, no bounce, from vibrant colors to sleek styles. There's a pair of Gooders for every personality, designed for both everyday wear and active individuals that love to run, hike, bike, and more. When do you wear your Gooder sunnies? All the time. Except for, obviously, it's nighttime down here, so I'm not wearing not wearing them right now. Very cool sunglasses. Like, literally every pair of sunglasses, $25, $35. It's absolutely silly. If you're looking for a Christmas gift for someone, and you're trying to find something nice, sunglasses, highly recommend. If you need a pair of sunnies, Gooder is giving Jets Talk listeners free shipping. You can go to gooder.com/JetsTalk. That's gooder.com/JetsTalk and use Jets Talk for free shipping. Gooder offers a 30-day money-back guarantee and 100% satisfaction. Again, that's gooder.com/JetsTalk and use code JetsTalk for free shipping. Thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. Boys and girls, Aaron Rodgers presser coming up shortly. We got like 300 people in the Aaron Rodgers watch YouTube page, so that should be coming up momentarily. But we will go back to the lines right here. Ryan, you're dreaming now. We didn't win. Yeah, I'm so tired. I'm just delirious. It's like this game actually did not happen. In real time, I would have been on trading down and picking up Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I liked Brian Thomas Jr. a lot. That was my... So I liked the top 3 receivers a lot. And then Brian Thomas Jr. was the only other one I'd consider in the first round. And if you had been able to trade down to like that middle teens to like early 20s, that's where I thought he should have gone. I think he wound up going like 22 because I think the Jags traded down to get him. Oreo says, hopefully the Pats and Broncos loss doesn't bite us in the ass. Hopefully this win rejuvenates this team and they go on a run. The 11 Giants were under 500 through 10 games, went on a run and won the Super Bowl. Yeah, hey, look, it's not over till it's over, right? Wild Wave, could we talk about Michael Clemons getting 2 sacks? Michael Clemons, I feel like, is at his best when he's on the interior part of our defensive line. I hate having Clemons on the outside trying to set an edge. The dude can't set an edge. He bites on every fake. Put him inside as a defensive tackle. He got at least one of his sacks that way. Could have at least seen it. How long do you think Greg the Leg is out for? Well, if he's on IR, I think it's at least 4 weeks. But it could be one of those like, you're done, Greg. We'll see. Brian Thomas is a stud. Yes, he is. Harlan says, as a Jets fan, want to see as many wins as possible. Jets will select good players in the draft. Yeah, look, I'm fine with wherever we pick in the draft. I more so want to set ourselves up for another year of Rodgers and Devontae and using this young core that we have. I don't want us to blow up the roster and trade players away. If Rodgers retires, then you might kind of be stuck in that situation to do it. But I think as long as they're starting to win games, I don't think they'll bring Ulbrich back. I mean, who knows? If they go on a run and if they end up making the playoffs after firing Salah and Ulbrich's the coach for this miraculous potential run that we might go on, then yeah, maybe he hangs around. But I definitely did not feel like that was going to be a. I didn't feel like that was going to be a marriage that was going to last longer. JT, we're all bricked up. Let's go. Damn right. Damn right we're all bricked up. Let's see. Where did my little comment window go? Ryan, real question. Is Garrett Wilson's catch better than Odell Beckham Jr.? There's a debate about it right now on Twitter and Instagram. I think the feet portion of Garrett Wilson's catch was much harder. I think the Odell catch, especially since he was being held or pass interfered with, I think his will probably go down as a better catch. But I think the more skilled... we'll go lower half, upper half. Lower half, Garrett Wilson. Upper half, Odell. Still a crazy catch. Absolutely crazy. Keenan, time to prepare for Kyler Murphy. And the Cardinals, not going to be a cakewalk. Yeah, I don't want to get high on this game right now and be able to move on to the next one. Let's enjoy it tonight. On to Arizona. Starting tomorrow. Dante, would moving Clemons to the inside be a possibility? I mean, they have had him inside. He definitely had he played inside. Well, now that Hassan Reddick's in, you can have Hassan Reddick and Will McDonald on the outside, and then have Clemons more on the inside. But I think they're probably using Clemons more on the inside on like later downs because they still value his size comparatively to like a Will McDonald. But yeah, I don't really love seeing him try to set the edge. Dylan says, not getting hopes up till we're at least 6-6. Yeah, look, my hopes are going to continually, every win we get, the hopes get higher and higher and higher. This is the part of the season that we tend to have more wins and more victories, and then we have crippling losses when we shouldn't lose later in the season. So, like, I fully expect us to be on pace to make the playoffs going into Week 17 with fucking Tim Boyle coming in as quarterback for the Dolphins, and we're going to find a way to lose that game. That's how these Jets wind up playing out. But this is the turnaround. We're not going to see that. It's going to be a better rest of the season. I have faith. Still waiting on the Aaron Rodgers presser, so we'll see when that happens. I want to see if I have my... All right. So, boys and girls, this game brought to you by BetUS, or this live stream. Solid. Let's do this. Boom, here I am. This stream brought to you by BetUS, and this is an old ad read because this is not what it should be reading as. All right, so brought to you by it, but not where I need to go. Let's see if this is the one. Nope, that's not it either. See, I love doing this on the fly without my stream deck. I'll go back here until I can figure out where my my other ad read is. I may be able to find it, I may not. If not, that's all right. I'll do it another night. Let's see. Is looking off into the distance of everything. Sorry. Felix, Garrett, and Adams will be hard to deal with the rest of the season. It was good to see our guys smiling and playing hard. We needed this win. 8 to go. Dude, definitely good to see them start clicking. Garrett Wilson's starting to get more opportunities. I feel like, I shouldn't say starting to get more opportunities because I think he's one of the most targeted receivers in the NFL right now, but like more down the field. Like we're seeing a lot of stuff near the line of scrimmage. I don't mind it. Like I'm fine with him being the shifty guy right there, but he's so good down the field. He's so good at going up and high pointing a ball. He's so good at like just making a guy miss and causing big plays. I don't want to see everything right at the line of scrimmage. Oreo says, agreed. Hopefully the Jets learned from their mistakes coming off a big win. 10 days to prepare. Let's see if they learned any mistakes from the first game. Not even just that. We're usually not good after an extended rest, but that was under Saleh, not under Ulbrich. Although technically a longer game when we went from Ulbrich in London at 9 a.m. to Buffalo on Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. So maybe that's, I don't know. Hopefully we can turn it around. I'm done seeing this underprepared team with longer rest. Kev, Garrett made 2 awesome one-handed touchdowns in one game. That has to be a record. I mean, they were crazy catches. The first one, I jumped out of my seat. And the second one was like, I almost fell over. I almost had a damn heart attack. So good. Leo, if Rodgers retires, we still got Jordan Travis. Yeah, look, hey, I would love for him to be the heir apparent, but got to see something from him first. Would you hire Pete Carroll to be our 2025 GM or be GM consultant? If you wanted to hire him as like a VP of player personnel or VP of, I don't know, team decisions or something like that, like I would be fine with that. I don't really want him as like a super active role. I don't really know how much influence he's had on scouting for the Seahawks. I would say I'd probably want to go a different route for GM, but as some kind of consultant, I'd be all right with it. Olu played great at guard. Wildwave, I'm excited to see the All-22. I'll try to have that out tomorrow, so that way we can watch it. It definitely looked really, really good for the most part today. Some interior pressure given up, but that might have been on the Max Mitchell side. Devontae opens up the field for Garrett. Yeah, it was a huge need there. The Jets suck after 10 days, and we are 100. And we are 100 on Thursdays. Yeah, it's not great usually. Hennessy, I'd rather play 3 days than 10 days. Playing 3 days than 10 days. Yeah, right. Like, hey, yeah, why don't we just skip our game, from 10 days from now and move it onto Sunday? Cardinals, can you do that? Probably. Fernando, what do we do with Corley now? Look, Corley's going to get another opportunity. That was a boneheaded play that I don't think will ever happen again. We're just lucky we won. And, yeah, look, hopefully it doesn't happen moving forward. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Aaron Rodgers press conference is not happening. because it is still not up. Let's go over to the Jets website, see if they've done anything. They still have it listed for tonight, but nothing there. They have the post-game show. They got Olberg talking. Yeah, so I guess I'll go back to the Rodgers one and see if anything comes up. It does not seem like it's going to happen, though. I feel like it would have happened already if it was going to. Nose kills. Thank you, dude. Says, suddenly remembered the shortest way is through. I stayed up until 6 a.m. to see this like an absolute moron, but could be worse. Hey, it could be worse. We could have lost. You could have had a horrible game. At least you got to sit up and watch a game where we scored some touchdowns, some really exciting catches. So it's awesome. Everything's fine. Looks like the Aaron Rodgers presser is starting now.
Give Garrett Wilson any of that cayenne pepper and water.
I think you got to ask Timo about that. He's not allowing me to speak on it anymore. So you got too many people hitting him up.
What do you think of Garrett's catch in the second one? The second one.
Well, before the snap, I knew it was third and extra long. I was looking at the weak side safety, and I was like, if he drops down at all, I'm just going to say, screw it. I'm going to throw it up to G. I felt like I put it in a decent spot, but, yeah, I didn't do a whole lot when it comes down to it. I just kind of lobbed one up there. He made an unbelievable catch. When I saw the replay, it looked like he had his knee in. So I thought, shoot, let's throw the challenge. Brick was already in front of me throwing it, but that was a huge play. First one was a huge play as well. But what was it, third and 20? Yeah, I mean, that's game-changing play.
And what changed from the first half to the second half here? It seemed like everybody had some issues in the first half, all three phases.
Yeah, I mean, I was terrible. We had a touchdown call back, taken off the board. Silly play. But, I feel like the energy was good at halftime. We had a chance to kind of cash it in there, Morgan gave a little speech, which was good. We all kind of were positive, talking. Nobody was isolating at halftime. And we just knew, hey, let's go out and score every possession. We said we were going to score 28-30. I kind of counted as 28 tonight, even though the scoreboard says 21. But proud of the way we responded in the second half. And I played about as bad as I could in the first half and knew it had to get better from there.
What did you say to teammates at halftime?
At halftime? I didn't say a whole lot. I mean, I was talking to the line. I think it was just keep communicating, talking to the line about what runs they like, talk to receivers about a couple different things to be alert for. But, we just had to stay positive and had to believe. And the first drive was the most important possession of the game. Went down the field, scored 6 minutes, converted fourth down. That was big.
Olu told us that he hasn't played a single rapid guard and then had to fill in there. I mean, the touchdown to Devontae, it looked like they came with everybody, and the line gave you enough time to throw. Just talk a little bit about that group and specifically him.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give him and Max a lot of credit. Max played a ton of tackle for us last year, and I believe he played, my memory serves, maybe a little bit of right guard. I don't know if he ever played any left guard. So for him to step in like that was fantastic. And then Olu got, I don't know how many reps at guard in camp, but it can't be many, if any.
He said 0.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I would trust him, even though he's been a little bit flighty about whether or not he's getting his number retired this weekend at Penn State. But yeah, I'm proud of him. He got kind of a welcome to the NFL moment on a pull he had to the left, but he's a tough kid. He's a good kid, man. He was great in the huddle, and he's with an absolute legend of a human being on the right side, and Morgan Moses. I mean, Morgan and Tyron, I thought, played really, really well. But more than that, their energy and their confidence and their leadership was really special tonight.
What was it like to get that reconnection with Devontae in the second half, especially on the touchdown?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first play of the game, hitch and go, I threw the ball out of bounds. And then we had one later, and he didn't come up with it. So it was frustrating for sure. I told him, all right, we're even after that. Although we really weren't, because
God, the first one was so bad. But he's so talented. We just, get him in space, get him a chance to have a two-way go in the slot. He's really tough to guard. So when G's going like he's going and making ridiculous plays, and Tay's getting a chance to do his releases in the slot, it's a special combination.
Especially there's only 8 games left in the regular season. With you turning 41 in about a month, has it all just naturally crossed your mind that maybe these are the final 2 months of the regular season of your career for you?
No, it hasn't.
Yeah. Not to be too dramatic with this, but can you, even though it's just one game, can you look at the way you guys played in the second half, getting the win, the offense looking like the way it did, and almost have it be an exhale to some of the issues that you guys have dealt with for the last month or so to finally move past and kind of turn the corner?
Right. It was kind of season on the line there in the second half. Obviously, we wouldn't have been mathematically eliminated, but mentally, to go to 2-7 would have been real tough. Hopefully, it's give us confidence so that we can beat anybody, because we feel like we could. The way we played on offense in the second half is the way we've been kind of waiting for this offense to wake up. And I know, obviously, I was, close to perfection as I needed to be, but that's a standard I need to play at. And guys, there's a lot of really incredible performances. Olu, Max, the whole offensive line, Joe, Tyron, and Morgan. But some role players doing some great things, blocking the run game, making timely catches. Kenny Yeboah, to get him a catch was really special. Kenny spoke to the team last night, gave a real heartfelt message about how difficult it's been being out for so long and being hurt last year. So to him get a catch like that, maybe stay in bounds next time, Kenny. But he's an energy glue guy for us, and we did a lot of good things in the second half. We got to build off of that, but hopefully that kind of lets everybody, like you said, exhale a little bit and now get a little time off and then get a trip to Arizona.
Aaron, what was it like to get that game ball into Jeff's hands there at the end?
I actually didn't get to, but I got to have a nice moment with him. Jeff's been really steady, and it's been a few weeks in the making, but I told him after that Tay touchdown, that was for you, buddy, because we love him, care about him. We appreciate the energy he brings to it, his approach, just the kind of man he is, and good to get that first one.
Why was that for him?
Because we need to get him his first win.
Oh, the win, not the touchdown.
Both.
Aaron, if you guys have 2 games in the next 30 days, just what can that do for you physically at this stage of the season?
Listen, I told you, I think Connor asked, but something happened last Sunday physically for me, and I feel so much better. I was able to run around a little bit more. Now give me 10 days, I feel like my legs will be back, and hopefully, we'll have a good stretch of health moving forward. But we got a lot of guys banged up. Obviously, John went out. ABT's been out. Jake went out. Guys in the secondary, Chuck's been out. TA's been out. Both DJ and Sauce went down. They both stayed, came back in the game. But we got to get healthy across the board.
Aaron, with you and Devontae, everyone assumed because you had all those magical years of Green Bay that you could just flick a switch when he came here and it would be the same. Has there been like a reacclimation process? You've had some misfires. You had the big play today. Where is that in terms of chemistry and redeveloping that?
Well, I missed him on one. He, had a chance to come up with one on the other, but he's playing Z. He's been playing X his entire career. So that's been the only change that we've had to get used to a little bit.
You seem pretty fired up about where you are physically. Is that I know the play got called back, one of the reasons why you were so amped up on the field on that scramble you had?
It was third down. I looked halfway athletic. I didn't hurt myself in the process other than falling on the ball. And I got a first down. I wanted to bring the joy and the passion to the game. This has been a frustrating season at times, for sure. But I love this game. This game has done everything for me. And a little perspective, a little gratitude tonight, and a little bit extra passion there in the second half.
Aaron, when you guys were struggling in the first half, the defense kept you in.
They stood on their head, for sure.
When you had a few huge plays in that first half. What can you say about their play today?
I mean, they stood on their head. They were incredible. Kept us in the game, turnover down in plus territory, held them to field goals. Incredible performance, top to bottom. A lot of guys, stepping up. Great to see Monroe out there. He's such a special guy, great energy guy for our team. You got to say a lot about Mills. Him coming in, being on the P squad, humbling himself, and from day one, he's been a fantastic teammate. Kind of guy you pull for, veteran leadership, but just such a great team guy. Sherwood, stepping in for Cap and playing some really damn good football. Proud of all those guys that kept us in the game. One guy I really want to highlight because I absolutely friggin' love him, and I thought he had a really damn good game, is 𝐉𝐄𝐄. I mean, every week he brings it. He was disruptive in the backfield. He's a mountain of a man, and a good friend of mine and a great player.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
All right, so we heard a little bit there from Aaron Rodgers. Definitely a little more optimistic than we've been in the last few weeks for these post games. So it feels good to feel like we're on the right side of this at this point right now. Definitely been frustrating from the last few weeks, and hopefully this is enough to maybe turn it around. Let's see. Before we get too much further, I do want to bring up our lovely ad read here from the sponsor of the channel, BetUS. If you guys want to get in on this, get 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 when you use code YouTube150. Who else gets traded at the deadline? The Jets trade for Davante Adams. You get Amari Cooper going to the Bills. You have any number of players. Deontay Johnson getting traded, going to Baltimore. What other players wind up getting moved before the November 5th deadline? Do the Jets ship any pieces off? Are we fully in the we can still do this mode and we're going to retain all our players? That's kind of where I fall on this, but I'm sure you guys have your other opinions and whatnot. So I love to hear from you. Who else gets moved at the deadline? Like I said, BetUS, get 150% bonus match on your first deposit up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. Boys and girls, the New York Jets had a victory tonight, 21-13. Very well could have been 28-13 had it not been for a Malachi Corley drop, fumble, lapse in judgment at the goal line. But you know what? Things are starting to look up. The Garrett Wilson, Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers synergy chemistry starting to work its way out, and I'm looking forward to it. So, boys and girls, I'm going to wrap this up. My laptop is about to die here. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed this postgame, and I will see you probably Monday, I think. I think that's what we'll do. But I'll see you guys in the next one.